All right, let's look at some more word problems. And we're going to solve this one with elimination. So just a reminder that we are looking at solving these word problems using a system of equations. So define some variables, write two equations, and then use one of the methods that we've been working on to solve that system. Guess and check is perfectly fine, but for our purposes, we're practicing the methods, the new methods that we've been learning. So let's take a look at this one. So Maricela has a bag containing 34 nickels and quarters altogether, 34 altogether. The total value of these coins is $2.50. How many of each coin does Maricela have? So the first thing we want to do is define our variables. So we want to know how many nickels and how many quarters does she have. So I've defined N as the number of nickels, not the dollar amount, and Q as the number of quarters. So next we're going to write our equations, and I usually start by looking for totals or altogether amounts. And in this particular story, we have two. So we have a total of 34 coins altogether, and we have a total of $2.50 altogether. So that's going to be my two equations. One's going to talk about how many coins we have. The other is going to talk about how much money we have, so how many dollars we have. So one of my equations, 34 coins altogether, and that consists of quarters and nickels. So how many quarters and how many nickels added together should equal 34. My second equation is a total of $2.50. So I'm going to say the number of quarters, and I have to multiply that times the value of 1 quarter, so 0.25. And I'm going to talk about how much money the nickels represent. I'm going to multiply how many nickels I have by the value of a nickel, which is 0.05, not 0.5. Be really careful with that. So 0.05. All right, so from here, I could use substitution. So I could take this equation and solve for Q or N and substitute. Totally fine. We're practicing elimination with multiplication, so I'm going to use that method. So I don't have any coefficients that are either the same or opposite, so I'm going to have to make that happen. So I'm going to multiply this second equation by 4. You could multiply the first, either way, whichever makes you happy. I'm going to multiply the second one by 4 so that I come up with 1Q. So 2.50 times 4 gives me 10, 0.25Q times 4 gives me Q, and 0.05N times 4 gives me 0.2N. So here's the new version, my equivalent equation. I'm going to line that up underneath my first equation. Since I have the same coefficient, I'm going to subtract. So I end up with 24 equals 0.8N. Again, my Q's canceled out here. That was the whole point. Careful with the subtraction. I want to make sure I do N minus the 0.2 and don't add them together. Divide by 0.8 and I come up with 30N, which is the number of nickels that we have here. I need to go back and figure out the number of quarters. I'm going to use this first equation because that's much friendlier to use. I have 34 equals quarters plus the nickels. If I have 30 nickels, then that means I have to have 4 quarters. Again, I can go back and check with this. 30 nickels plus 4 quarters gives me 34 coins. 4 quarters is $1. 30 nickels. Well, 10 nickels is 50 cents. So 30 nickels is $1.50. So $1 plus $1.50 gives me $2.50. Again, these are super easy to check. Again, we're practicing using the methods of solving substitution to come up with solutions for these problems.